computer. So recording started. So please take out your notes and let's get started. Okay. By the way, how are you guys doing? Oh, okay. Let's see. Let me share the screen. This is for geometry. So let's pull out the Algebra 2. All right. So here's the notes for today. Okay. Then we've got the assignments. So we're going to do the whole thing. I'm going to give you the lesson and then we'll do the assignments all together. Okay. If you're able to do the assignments on your own, you're more than welcome to um, be on your own and work on it, but we'll get that. Yeah. Okay, very good. Yeah, one of the concern for all the classes that I'm teaching is the absence. I don't know if this, do you feel like it's this online classes make it easier for you to miss classes? What do you guys think? I'm just trying to get the feel of it for it. Maybe it's just like a sleep in, oh, okay, I can watch the video, so I'm not gonna go to the class. I don't know. Do you feel like that sometimes? Yeah. All right. So I don't know if there's any other, anything that I can do, but I just want to encourage you to, good, Alfonso. But I just want to encourage you guys to come to the class, okay? Because I'm I'm dealing with some students in other classes, trying to get them out of the hole that they dug in, and the hole is getting deeper and deeper. So, and you've been there, right? I've been in that situation too, believe it or not. But I hope that you keep up with assignments, at least for this class. If you come to the class, you will finish the assignment in class, okay? And I think I've said that many times, right? So I hope this will give you even more incentive to come to the class. Anyway, that's enough. So this chapter is all about quadratic function. And I gave you some overview of what we're going to do. Okay, this is from yesterday's notes. You don't really need it, but if you want to snap a picture of it right now, if you are not here yesterday, and this is what we talked about. We are going to deal with a quadratic function, sometimes called parabola or parabolic function. And we are to find x-intercepts, y-intercept. We need to find vertex, the very bottom or maybe very top of the parabola if it's upside down. And then we need to find the axis of symmetry, the halfway line. And basically, that's the whole picture of this unit. Okay? Now, today we are going to work on factoring. Now, you might be thinking, well, why factoring? Because factoring is going to be a very useful tool when you are going to find x-intercepts. Basically, factoring, you will have the answer for x-intercepts, okay? And so it's going to come very handy when you try to find the x-intercept. So, but let's not even worry about x-intercept, y-intercept. But what I want you to do right now is to focus on factoring skill. Okay, and that's all we are going to focus on today. Okay, so what is a factoring? Let's just start from there. Okay, now let's see. Okay, so now let's talk about factor. What is factor? For example, what is the factor of 12? Well, I kind of kept the notes from the last class, so there are some still writings on it. Yeah. Would you agree that those are the factors of 12? Now, if you're wondering, well, what is factor? Fact, Factor is a number that will divide or go in perfectly. So what divides 12? Can you do 12 divided by 2? Yeah, so 2 is a factor. 2 will go into 12, right? 3 is also factor 2 because 12 divided by 3. Yeah, you can divide perfectly. How about 4? Is a 4 factor? Yeah, 4 goes into 12 3 times. Is 6 a factor? Yeah, 6 will go into 12 2 times. Okay, 12 divided by 6 is 2. Is 12 a factor of 12? Does 12 go into 12? Yeah. How many times? Once. Okay. So itself, the number itself is always the factor of the number. Okay. Now, yeah, very good point. Now you're thinking, well, how about one, right? Yeah, somebody brought it up in the one is kind of some textbook most of the time one is not considered as a factor, even though one goes into 12 perfectly 12 times, right? One is a factor of any number, basically. So for that reason, usually we kind of disregard one as a factor, but everything else is going to be the factor. Okay, but I wouldn't say it's wrong that you say, hey, one is a factor. Okay, yeah, it is. Okay, but we don't need to really worry about that though. Okay, now, so those are the factors, but what's a factoring, right? We're going because we're going to work on factoring. Okay, now factoring is the process of like let's say you have a given number and you're going to factoring is you're going to express the given number. So this is a given, break down into a product of factors. For example, can you break down 6 into the multiple product of two numbers? Yeah, 6 is 2 times 3, right? So that's a factoring, okay? Um, so that's just kind of the background information there, okay? Now, before we do actual factoring right now, we are actually going to do something different. It's the opposite of factoring, which is distributing. So I want to start from this step because it will help us undo the distributing, okay? But let's just do the distributing property. Apply this, okay? When you have a two parentheses, x plus 2 times x plus 3, do you guys know how to undo or distribute that? Let's do this together, okay? First, because you might have forgotten, how many of you have heard the word FOIL to distribute trinomial? Has anybody heard the word FOIL? You don't need to know Yes, no. Okay, some of you have, okay, but you have done this in Algebra 1. Okay, let me show you what FOIL is. FOIL is to distribute this trinomial, okay? You do x times x. That's, we call that first, okay? So F, first, let me clean this up a little bit here. So first you distribute x times x, right? That's first, okay? And then you're gonna also distribute to 3. And that's really the outside, isn't it? So we call it outside, okay? First, outside. So first, x times x is x squared, right? And then the outside is x times 3, which is 3x. And we are not done because we have to distribute this 2 as well. So let's distribute 2. That's called inside, right? Because it's inside and inside. So 2 times x is 2x. And then the last, 2 times 3 is 6. Just heard somebody just came in. Oh, somebody was waiting. One. So Eve came in, right? Sorry for I just didn't notice that you guys were waiting. Sorry, guys. So now, so that's what FOIL is. First, outside, inside, and last. But do you notice that the middle 2 terms, you can combine them together? What's a 3x plus 2x? It's 5x, right? So the final answer is x squared plus 5x plus 6. Okay? Now, what is a FOIL is that you're going to go backwards of distributing. Okay? If I give you this, x squared plus 5x plus 6, can you get back to this form? That's what FOIL is. Okay. So you can think of factoring as opposite of foiling. Okay. Now, I know the answer is already there. The answer will be x plus 2 times x plus 3, right? But let's just kind of break down, sort of backtrack of the process here, okay? Let me think about this. This x squared right here. So the step 1 is, how do you get x squared? Now, I want your attention over here. Can you guys look over here? How did we get x squared? This x squared. Didn't you get it from the FOIL's f, the first? This x times x, isn't it? So the first step is to think about, okay, how do I get this x squared? And there is only one possibility, and that is, it is from x times x, and you get x squared, isn't it? Right? Am I making any sense to you? Okay. Now, next, we need to figure out those numbers. Okay. Now, to figure out those numbers, you are going to actually focus on this last number 6. So that's why I said step 2, okay? Because you want to focus on the last number because this 5x came from this two addition of two expression, right? 3x and plus 2x. So we're going to skip the 5x, but we're going to take a look at 6, okay? Because how do you get 6? You get 6 from this 2 times 3 right here, isn't it? Okay, so now it's kind of obvious, well, it's going to be 2 and 3, but your question will be this. What times what gives me 6? That's what you're asking here, okay? And for that, there are two possibilities. Can somebody tell me what times what gives 6? Obviously, 2 times 3, yeah. What else? But there's another one, though. Yes, thank you, guys. It's 1 times 6, isn't it, right? Let's say, okay, this is a wrong answer, right? So maybe you can just watch. Let's say you're thinking it's 1 times 6, okay? Now, to check this, what you want to do is you're going to create like a smiley face or like a half donut shape, okay? And see if they will add up to be this 5x. 1 times x is 1x, right? And then x times 6 is going to be 6x. And if you add them together, can you create 5x? And no, you can't. You can't. Okay. You can get 7x, but it's not going to be 5x. So 1 and 3 is not going to work out. Okay. So let's try 2 and 3. It's going to be 2x. And x times 3 is 3x. Will they add up to be the middle term? And that 2x plus 3x is 5x. So yes, that is going to be the answer. So you just foiled, you just factored x squared plus 5x plus 6 as x plus 2 times x plus 3. Maybe some of you are still confused, yeah? We're just going to keep working on this, okay? So give yourself a little more time, okay? Because I don't expect you guys to get it right away. We're just going to try to establish the rhythm, the steps, and it will get easier and easier, okay? So, all right, thank you. So let's try again, okay? We'll just keep working on this. And I'm going to keep asking you questions. You tell me, okay? You just talk to the computer monitor, okay? As though you're talking to me, okay? You don't need to unmute. You don't need to type it in. Just tell me. Okay, let's put the parentheses. We're going to put them back into the parentheses, okay? What is the first step? First step is, what are you going to focus on? You're going to focus on this x squared. You're going to ask yourself, what times what will get me x squared? And there is only one way, and that is when you distribute that x times x will get you x squared. Okay? All right, some of you already figured it out. Very good. Okay? But let's, give other people a little more time to think about it. Okay? Next step. What is the next step? We're going to skip the middle term, 3x, but we're going to focus on negative 40. And your question is, what times what is negative 40? Okay, now there are lots of possibilities. Can you give me some? 1 times 40 will give you 40. 2 times 20. Yeah. 4 times 10. 5 times 8. Okay. And I think that's it. 6, 7, 8, 20. Now you're back to 10 times 4. Yeah. So that's it. Okay. There are lots of possibilities. Okay. And one of them needs to be negative though, because you need to get negative 40. Okay. But let's not worry about the sign. Okay. Now, which one are we going to try? There are lots of, now you got to be a little bit smart about this. Okay. The rule of thumb is that you want to try the combination that has kind of numbers that are close together, which is this 5 and 8. You don't want to try 1 and 40. 1 and 40 should be the last thing that you want to try. Okay. But let's try 5 and 8. So I'm just going to put down 5, 8 over here. Okay. And then what are we going to do? We're going to do the donut, half donut shape, right? So we're going to do 5 times x, which is 5x. X times 8 is 8x. Now, if you add them together, can you create 3x? You can you not? How can you create 3x with 5x and 8x? If 5x is negative and if 8x is positive, don't you get 3x if you add them together? Again, you are always adding the middle two terms, right? And then you get 3x. So that's the combination that we want. That means 5 should take the negative 5, and then 8 will take the positive. And this is your answer. Yes? Okay. Okay, let's keep trying, guys. Now this one is a little different. What do you notice the big difference here? Now we've got this 2 right there, right? That's a little different, but the process is the same, okay? So first step, how do you get 2x squared? Again, there's only one way to get something times something is 2x squared, and that is it has to be 2x and x, because 2x times x will get 2x squared, isn't it? Okay. Okay, next. We're going to skip the middle term, but we're going to do what? Yeah, not 2x times 2x though. It's 2x times x, because 2x times 2x will be 4x squared. Okay, so it's gotta be 2x and x. You okay with that? So the next step is to focus on this 12. Okay. What time and what is your question here? What are you going to ask yourself? Question is, what times what gives me 12, right? And there are a couple of them. 1 times 12, that's always the possibility. 2 times 6, 3 times 4, and I think that's it, okay? And again, my recommendation is that you use the combination that are numbers that are close together. So let's use this one, 3 and 4. Okay. could be wrong, okay? But let's try, okay? So let's, and then what are we gonna do to check it? We're gonna do the donut shape. 3x and 8x. Now, can we, if you add them together, you want to get negative 11x. How do you fix that? 3x plus 8x is positive 11x, but we want to get negative 11x when you add them together. It will be negative 3x and negative 8, isn't it? Right? Then you will get negative 11x when you add them together. That means this 3 should be negative, and this 4 should be, so 2x times negative 4 will get you negative 8, doesn't it? Okay. So both of them has to be negative. And just to make sure, does negative 3 times negative 4, do you get positive 12? And it does. Okay, so everything fits, everything works out. So it's not just 3 and 4, but it's gotta be negative 3 and negative 4. Two more, and then we're just gonna work on the assignment, okay? But let's just keep working. I know you must have done this. You know, do you guys remember the diamond method? Has anybody done that? I really don't like that method because diamond method works out, but you know, when you have a number, you have to multiply, right? The first number and the last number. I don't know if you guys remember that. And then it gets when sometimes the number gets really big, and it's really hard to break down and try to figure out the other components. Um, I mean, I'm not saying that my way is better or anything in that way, but I want to just try and see, okay? Because this way, I've done lots of different methods. This method works out really well, and you are able to find out the answer quickly. So let's try. Okay, please give yourself a little more chance to try and see what method works for you the best. But I'm just gonna stick with this, okay? And then let's keep working. So again, what's the first step? So I'm gonna let you work on it by yourself. Maybe thumbs up when you're done. Okay, very good. Anybody else? Changed my desk arrangement a little bit. So I'm looking at this way for the extra monitor, by the way. Okay, let's talk about this, okay? Again, this one is a little easier because the leading coefficient is 1. Leading coefficient is the number in front of x squared. And the coefficient in that case is just 1. That's always the easiest because it has to be just x and x, okay? So that's done. Now we're gonna explain how you get 10. And how do you get 10? It's by this number times this number, okay? So you're asking, what times what gives me 10? 1 times 10 2 times 5. Well, that's only a possibility. Okay. So which one are we going to try? We're just going to do 2 and 5. Okay. And now you're going to do the donut shape. 2x, 5x. And when you add them together, you want to get the middle term, negative 7x. If you add them, you just get positive 7x. So how do we fix that? Both of them needs to be negative. That means 2 and 5 needs to be negative. And moreover, negative 2 times negative 5. Do you get positive 10? Yes. So again, it fits. Okay. Great job. Maybe you're done already for this one too. Some of you, great job. If you're just starting, let's try to catch up the rest of the class. So how do we go about this one? For those who are done, go to Canvas and there is the assignment posted and you can start working on it. But the rest of you, don't worry about it. Let's just focus on this problem. I think somebody left, which is okay. Okay, are you guys with me? How do you guess 3x squared? It is by 3x times x. Okay, not 3x and 3x, because that would be 9x squared. We don't want that. We want 3x squared. So it's a 3x times x. Next question. Negative 20. What times what gives negative 20? 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 4 times 5. So let's try 4 and 5, okay? Now, it could be wrong though, okay? I don't even know. I don't remember the answer. But let's try 4 and 5. What happens? Let's check. You have to check the donut with a donut shape. Always. It's 4x. What's 3x times 5? That's a 15. 15x. Can you create 7x by adding, subtracting 4x and 15x? No, it's not possible. You can create 11 possibly, or 19 if you add them together, but not 7x, right? Now, this is a very important, guys. Everybody listen up carefully. Does that mean that we should give up on this 4 and 5 combination right here, this 4 and 5? The answer is no. You don't want to give up on 4 and 5, because what else can we do? Instead of this 4 and 5, can we switch the places and write down 5 and 4? Maybe that might work, okay? So when the leading coefficient is not 1, like a 3, you want to switch around and see if it works out. Okay? So let's try that, and I think it's going to work out. So let's check. Now it's 5x, and this one is 12x. Can we create 7x if you add them together? Yes, right? what do we need to do? If this 5x is negative 5x, then negative 5x plus 12x is 7x, isn't it? Okay. So this 5 should be negative and 4 should be positive. And so that, and negative 5 times 4 is negative 20. So it works out. Everything works out well. Scale of 1 to 5. 5 being, hey, I've got this. Okay, 1, I don't get this. Where are you? 4, maybe 2 still. Okay, 3. Okay, good. All right. Very good. Maybe some of you still not feeling confident. Now let's do the assignment, okay? So if you go to Canvas, so this is the end of the notes, and I've already uploaded the assignment. There are 14 questions. If you want to take a picture of this and then just keep working on your own, you're welcome to do that. If you want to print out, then you have to go to Canvas and print it out. It's titled as assignment 2.1, I think, factoring. So you should be able to see that. What time do we get out here? 3:20. So we've had plenty of time, right? I think. Well, the first period, I have an Algebra 2 as well, and we finished it in class. So we should, there is no reason that we shouldn't be able to. Okay? So you guys ready? So please write it down. Let's just work one at a time. Assignment 2.1. Okay, please write it down. So especially for those who are not quite feeling, confident about this factoring problems, just try to participate. Okay, so let's try to remember. It's all about steps. What do I do first? What do I do second? Okay. So the first step is, what is it? You're going to look at the first term, okay? And you're going to ask yourself, what times what gives x squared? And what's the possibility? There's only one possibility, and that's x times x when you FOIL it, okay? X times x will get x squared. Very good. Thank you, Denali. Next step, you're going to look at the last number, 7. What times what? Again, same question. What times what gives me 7? Now, 7 is a prime number, right? That means there's only one possibility. And what is that? It's a 1 times 7, isn't it? Right? So you're just going to put 1 and 7. Okay, we don't quite know. Maybe it's one of them is negative or positive. So the way to find that sign is whether it's going to be positive 1 or negative 1, positive 7, negative 7. What is it? You're going to do the smiley face, and then you're going to distribute. What's 1 times x? That's 1x. And then what's 1 times 7? That's 7x. And if you add them together, it should be the middle. Will it? Is 1x plus 7x 8x? Yeah, right? That means 1x means it's positive. And so both of them needs to be positive. And that's it. So if you erase all the that, That is the answer, okay? You went backwards of distributed property now. You just factored it, okay? What's MHM? Guys, educate me. My kid's been teaching me some of those text messaging, like SM. Oh, it's just okay. I got you. All right. I thought there was some kind of a meaning to it. So. Okay, I got it. All right, next question. So you try this. So what are you going to do first? Yeah, first step is x squared. How do you account for x squared? It's coming from x times x. So that's easy. What are you going to do next? You're going to focus on this 10. What times what gives 10? 1 times 10 and 2 times 5. Now, think about this. So I think you're starting to see a few steps ahead, aren't you? Right? Which one do you want to try? I mean, we can try 2 and 5. Okay. Well, actually, let's do that. 2 and 5. Okay. It's 2x and 5x. Will you get, if you add 2x and 5x, will you get negative 11x? No, you wouldn't. Okay. So 2 and 5 is not going to work out. But if you want to get 11, you want to choose 1 times 5, isn't it? Right? 1 times 10. Because you get 1x and 10x. But we want to get negative 11 when you add them. When you add those two together, you want to get negative 11x. How do you fix that? You want to make 1x as negative 1 and then 10x as negative 10x. Then you've got negative 11. That means it should be negative 1 and negative 10. And that makes sense because negative 1 times negative 10 is positive 10. You want that. Okay. So everything fits. If I'm going too slow for you, then you just keep working on this, okay? But when I finish each problem, please just check your answer. Okay, but you are more than welcome to just keep working on it by yourself. Anybody who wants to go along with me, just stay with me here. Number 3. So let's put 2 parentheses. So you start. What can you fill in? We've done 3x squared before. It is going to be, very good. It has to be 3x and x right there. So we're done with that. Next, we're going to focus on where? This guy, negative 5. What times what gives -5? There's only one possibility. It's 1 times 5. 1 times 5 is 5, isn't it? That's it. So let's put 1 and 5. And you're starting to see, hey, that's not going to work out. Do you see that? Do you see that? That's not going to work out. Because, why? You can kind of, now you're starting to do math in your head, isn't it? Right? Because 1 times x is 1x. 3x times 5 is 15x. But when you add them, you want to get -2x. Can you get -2? No, 15x is way too big, right? So that 1 and 5 is not going to work out. So instead of, what are you going to do? You're going to switch it. You're going to do 5 and 1. Then you get 5x. Then you get 3x. And then if you add them, can you create -2x? How do you do that? 5x and 3x. How do you create -2? By adding them. Yeah, 5x needs to be -5x, isn't it? Okay? -5x plus +3x. Then, so that means -5 has to take a negative. But 1 has to be positive because 3x times 1, +1 should be +3x. Okay. And so that's it. Ready for next one? Do you think, I feel like you can do this a little bit better by yourself? So you try by yourself. Adrian just emailed me. Let me check his email. So keep working, guys. Where is my email? What does he say? Okay. Did you guys get that? Oh, number 11, huh? So you're ahead there. We'll get there, okay? So it has to be x and x. So that's done. And then how do you get -12? 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 4 times 3. But then I want to get 4x if I do the donuts, right? So which combination would get you closer to 4x? Do you think it's 2 and 6? Yeah, very good. So I'm going to put 2 and 6. And then that's 2x, 6x. But I want to get +4. So how do you do that? That means 2x needs to be -2x. And 6x needs to be +6. Then you will get 4x. So 2 is negative and 6 is positive. Okay, keep working. So work on number 5. Let's see. So Thalia, That's right. The negative x means I'm talking about number 11. So don't worry about it. Okay, just keep working on number 5 if you're working on that. If you want to listen to for number 11, this negative x means negative 1x. Does that help you answer your question? Can erase it. Okay, negative number 5. I'm gonna pick up a little speed, okay? Stay with me here. X squared, so it has to be x and x. You okay with that? How about 9? What times what gives 9? Give me the combination. Just what comes to your mind? 1 times 9. How about 3 times 3? Okay. Now, which one do you want to try on this? Now you look at the middle. When you add them, the donut shape, you want to get negative 10. So I am thinking maybe this one, right? So let's just put 1 and 9 here. And let's check the donut shape. 1x, 9x. This is 9, by the way. Can you create negative 10x when you add them? And how do you do that? It is by making both of them because you're adding them, right? Because you're going to add the two like terms. Negative 1x and negative 9x is negative 10. So both of them are negative. Do you need more help? Let's do number 6. Don't stop. Let's finish this, okay? Not later, okay? We're not going to do this tomorrow. We're going to finish this today. Number 6. What are you going to do? Two x and x. Yeah. So that's done. And then again, we see 9 here. What times what gives you 9? 1 times 9, 3 times 3. Okay. I don't know. When the leading coefficient is not 1, then it's a little bit more challenging, but let's try 3 and 3. Yeah, I think it's going to work. You get 3x. 2 times 3 is 6x. And I want to create positive 3x. How do we do that? 6 needs to be positive, but 3x needs to be negative, isn't it? Right? So the inside one, this 3 needs to be negative, but the outside 3 has to be positive. Because 2x times positive 3 is positive 6x. Negative 3 times x is a negative 3x. Right? Okay, we're done. Number 7. Stay with me here. Are you guys tired? I'm tired too. But I want to finish this. Okay. So let's keep going. Maybe 14 is a little too much. Let's keep going, okay? But the first period did all 14 problems, so let's. So 3x and x, that's that. We're done. Next problem. What times what gives 4? 1 times 4 or 2 times 2. But again, if it's not clear to you, let's use the combination that are close together, like 2 and 2. Okay? So let's put 2 and 2. Let's try this one. You get 2x. You get 3x times 2 is 6x. Can you get negative 8x by adding 2x and 6x? Yeah, 6 plus 2 is 8, isn't it? So what do we need to do? Yeah, make both of them negative. That's right. Very good. Then negative 2 plus negative 6 is negative 8. So it fits, right? And then negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. So it works perfectly. Eventually, those arrows and all of those smiley face, donut shape, or whatever, you probably will not, eventually, you don't need it. But for right now, I think it's good to have a visual effect of what needs to be happening in your head. And maybe when you look at the notes tomorrow, you can remind yourself how to do that, right? Okay, number 8. This one is the leading coefficient is just 1. So that's the easy one. That's x and x. Okay. If you look at number 11, number 9, hey, that's x and x. Okay. That's going to be x and x. Okay. So that's really easy to identify. Okay. So x squared is done. Now let's look at number 24. What times what is 24? No, you don't have to do that. Again, yeah, you don't have to do the arrows and this. Eventually, you will be able to do this all in your head, okay? But I think some of us, some of you, it still might be good to do the donut shape and the arrows and, because that will kind of reinforce the process. So 24. Somebody give me what times what is 24? 2 times 12, 3 times 8, and 4 times 6. Now, which one? We want to get 2x, right? It's either addition or maybe the difference has to be 2. And that is going to be, it's this one, isn't it? Okay. Very good. So let's put 4 and 6. You can do 6 and 4. Okay, it doesn't matter. That's right. That's right. So 4x, 6x. But we want, when you add them, you want to get 2x, positive 2x. How do we do that? That 4 needs to be negative and 6 needs to be positive. So 4 needs to be negative, 6 needs to be positive. Okay, keep going, guys. Sorry, yawning. Okay, so this has to be x times x. So we've already done that. And then 40. Now, there are lots of combinations, right? But which one? 1 times 40, 2 times 20, 4 times 10, 5 times 8. Ooh, 5 and 8, right? Because we want to get 13. Let's try 5 and 8. It's 5x, 8x. But we want to get negative 13. So how do we do that? Both of them negative, isn't it? And then if you add them, are you going to get negative 13x? Yeah. So both of them negative, negative. Do you find this easier than the diamond method that you've learned in Algebra 1? I'm not saying that that is a bad way, okay? But once kind of get used to this method, it goes a lot faster, 10 times faster, okay? All right, good. Let's try another one. Keep going, guys. Don't stop. Now, how do you get 5x squared? We haven't seen that yet. But there's only one possibility because 5 is a prime number. So it has to be 5x and x. Okay. Very good. Next, 12. What times what gives 12? 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. If it's not clear to you, I want you to just use the combination that has numbers that are close together, like 3 and 4. That's close, right? 1 and 12, it's really far apart. So let's start with a 3 and 4. Maybe we need to switch around, but who knows? Let's try. 3x, 5 times 4 is 20. Can you create 19 out of that? 20 and 3? No, it doesn't work out. You can either get 23 or 17, but not 19. So, but before we give up on this 3 and 4 combination, what are we going to do? Yeah, we're going to switch it. You're going to do 4 and 3. And let's try that. 4x and then 15x. Now you can create 19. If both of them are positive, you can get 19x if you add them together. So it's positive 4 and positive 3. All right. Maybe next year I will get rid of some problems. Are you guys all done with 13 and 14? Let's just do, if you have done it already, don't worry about it. Let's do 11 and number 12. Two more, okay? And then we can call it good. If you are done with 11 and 12, you are done with the class, and make sure you take a picture and submit it. Okay, don't forget to do that today. Okay. But let's keep working, guys. Two more to go. Yeah, no 13 and 14. You can do it, but no. So this one is another x and x. What times what gives 56? Does anybody know? You good with the multiplication table? 756. I'm reciting multiplication table in Japanese, by the way, because I memorized multiplication table in Japanese, so that's I can only think in Japanese when I multiply. So it's 7 times 8, right? So 756. So 7 times 8. So let's put 7 and 8. Yeah, 2 and 28 as well. Okay. But let's try 7 and 8. Now, what is the middle? This is the question that somebody was asking. Okay. What is the middle number that we are looking for? It says negative x. What does that mean? It means negative 1x. Very good, Andrea. So we want to find negative 1. 7x and 8x. You can create negative 1, can't you not? Now, which one needs to be negative? Is it 7x or 8x? 8x needs to be negative. 7x needs to be positive. Then if you add them together, you get negative 1. So 7 is positive. A has to be negative. You guys good? One more. And this is it. And then we're done. I think my voice is going to be gone. Talking. You probably did not want to hear me talking all day long, huh? Let's get it done. So you do this by yourself. What are you going to do first? It's going to be, it has to be 2x and x, okay? To explain how you get 2x squared. The next step is this 5. 5 is a prime number. There's only one possibility, 1 times 5, okay? So just put down 1 and 5 right here, okay? It could be wrong. We may have to switch around, okay? But let's try. And then you're going to do the donut shape. 1x, 10x. Can you create 11x when you add them together? Yeah, just straight addition. 1 plus 10 is 11, right? So it's positive 1 and positive 5. And that will get you 11x. So that's it, guys. We've done a lot of math problems today. And I really appreciate you guys sticking around. Um, so please make sure that you take a picture of this and then turn it in today. Okay, don't do it tomorrow. Let's turn it in. Now, I think some of you, if you still have a, hey, Hugo, are you still here? Okay, so you guys are dismissed. Hugo, can you stick around? Okay, I need to talk to you. So you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey, so Hugo, you had a problem of uploading the assignment, right? Was that you? Yeah, okay. So, Did you do any of the assignments from first chapter, first unit? I'm gonna stop recording.